In Godzilla King of the Monsters, the players are monarch workers who will try to take control of the company. In order to do so, they will have to develop different technologies, which they will do on this board, take on different titans, and achieve this before anyone else. This is a game designed by Enrique Dueñas for Genex Games. I'm going to show you how to play it. At the beginning of the game, each player receives a monarch accreditation, which is the worker's profile. It shows a skill that only the player can develop throughout the game. The rest of them are discarded. Each player draws 2 goals cards. One tells you which technology monarch must develop, and the other which titans must be defeated. These goals must be kept secret. The technologies or lines of research are represented in different colors. The player places his goals in front and face down. He can consult them whenever he wants, but he must keep it secret from the rest of the players. The player also receives 2 counterattack tokens and a push token. I will explain their function later. We have some event cards. They explain when the event takes place and the advantage that gives us. The event cards are won throughout the game on both boards. We can also win these small cards, which will give us a series of advantages. On this other board, we have the health indicators of the titans. Each titan has a different health value according to their size. Here we have the picture, the name, the attack skill, defense skill, movement skill, and destruction skill, as well as how many energy counters this titan can support. We start with the science board. No player possesses either the pawns or the titans, but will have to get the pawns to the end of their track to achieve the development of that technology. In this case, we have been given Orca and communication systems. Therefore, we will have to get the blue pawn to get here, and the purple pawn to get here. Should be great to do it in such a way that the rest of the players do not guess what technology we are approaching to. Otherwise, they will be able to put obstacles in our way so that we do not achieve it. To move the pawns, we will throw the dice that go from the value 1 to 3, and we will add the values of the dice to know how much we will move our pawn. In this case, it's 5. When moving the pawn, we will fall on different squares, and depending on where we fall, we can get advantages for ourselves or damage for the others. For example, if we fall on a square with a red cross, nothing happens. If you fall on a square with this symbol, you will get one of the tokens that we talked before. If you fall on this icon, you will get an event card. If you fall on this one, you can make another pawn move backwards. If you fall on this one, you will get one of these tokens, and if you fall on this other one with the villain's face, you can put this black pawn, which is the criminal pawn, in front of another pawn to hinder the passage. Once the criminal pawn is here, this other pawn could not pass through. If we want to remove this one from here, we will have to fall back into one of these squares to put the pawn back into the path of another technology. On the city board, we see there are 4 titans, the protagonists of the film, who will move around the city. Here we have Godzilla. They are built in 3D. The city is divided into sectors, and each point of movement allows you to go to different sectors. We have some building tiles, which will be destroyed as the titans pass over them, and they will do so depending on their level of destruction. The building tiles hide symbols that are very similar to those on this board. For example, this one allows us to take an event card. This one allows us to heal a titan, and we will discover them as the game develops. On this board, the titans are moving, depending on their movement skill, and when the 2 titans are in the same section of the board, they can fight together. How are the attacks developed? We will start by looking at the attack skill on the card. In this case, it's 4, so I can roll dice up to 4. King Ghidorah has a defense of 2. This means that any 2 that I have on the dice will not bring him any harm. I roll the dice, and the deuces are withdrawn. I roll 3 damage, so the King Ghidorah counters move down, and I could have lost 3 lives already. In this other board, you can see the life level of the different titans, the statistic on their energy counters. The energy markers can be used by any player and allows you to play with that titan again. Let's see how a turn is played. The turn begins with the active player, who has the Orca control device. These cards are hidden. In this example, we are playing with another player. At the beginning of the turn, I will play on this science board that I have explained before. For that, I will roll 2 dice, add their values, and move. We have seen that I am very interested in developing the lines of research Orca and communications. I can see where the pawn falls with 5 moves. If I fall here, I don't do anything, which is not very interesting. And if I fall here, neither. I can move to either place, because I am interested in advancing the pawns to improve in the study of those technologies. Or wait, so the other players don't know what I am pursuing. There is a 5th track that gives us the opportunity to get tokens that otherwise we couldn't get. Let's say that I want to fall here, because this allows me to move the criminal pawn and block the green, because I don't want other players go for the green research track. I'm continuing with my turn and heading to the city. I throw the Titanic dice, which serves to determine which Titan I can play with in this building. It's my turn to move Godzilla or Mothra. Since my goal is to defeat King Ghidorah or Rodan, I will move Godzilla. Godzilla has a movement skill of 1, and it has a skill of destruction of 3. This means that I can destroy up to 3 buildings. I take the building tiles and leave them on my board. They are hidden, although I can look at them and spend them whatever I want. In this example, I am going to spend these 2, so I can draw 2 events cards. I take the 2 events cards and I look at them, so I know what I can do in each one of them, and how I can benefit from it. With one of them, I can move the criminal pawn, and with the other one, I can move the scientific pawn, a value to which I must subtract the amount indicated on the die, to gain the benefit I am interested in. When it is my turn again, I know that I can use them to do those 2 events. They stay upside down until I want to use them. I have played on the scientific board, and I have played with the city board, so with this my turn is over. Now is the other player's turn. The other player rolls 2 dice. He rolls a 6. He can go far. We know that he is interested in developing the yellow one, which is the oxygen destroyer, or go to the purple one, which is communications, where he couldn't do anything. So he decides to go for the yellow one. It serves him to throw a pawn back. Now he rolls the Titanic die. He can use Rodan. Rodan has a move of 3, so he moves 3 and goes towards Godzilla. His level of destruction is 3, but since there is only 1 building left here, he only gets 1. He's got an event card. He decided to burn the token and take an event card, which also serves him to move the criminal pawn. Attention, the class is coming. Rodan is going to hit Godzilla. How's it done? Rodan has an attack left of 2, so he can roll 2 dice. And Godzilla has a defense of 0, so all dice hurt him. He's done 4 damage, so he rolls 4. The player who played with Rodan wants to attack again, so he decided to spend an energy token to force the Titan to attack again. He rolls, and since he has an attack of 2, he does 3 points of damage over Godzilla. Now, any other player could return the damage to Rodan. Since we are interested in put Rodan down, we decided to use a counter-attack card, so that Godzilla could hit Rodan. We launched the counter-attack and now Godzilla is going to hit Rodan. He has an attack of 4, so we roll the 4 dice. Rodan has a defense of 1, so 1 won't be able to attack him. No 1s come out. Wonderful, we have done a damage of 10. We knock Rodan's life down by 10 points. It's my turn again. I roll the dice and get a 6. I'm wondering if I should continue to advance the research track I was interested in. I prefer this one because I move 6 here and it allows me to take 2 points off the life of a Titan. Since we want to defeat Rodan, we take 2 points off his life. I could continue playing like this until 2 of the pawns reach the end and the titans have been defeated. Let's say that we have given a good beating to Rodan and his life points reach 0. The titan and the card are removed. As you can see, a new titan appears here and enters the house from which the defeated titan came out. So, there will never be a lack of a titan to beat. When a player has managed to complete his scientific and monstrous goals, he or she wins the game and becomes the new owner of Monarch. We've finished, but first, let's make a final summary. The first phase is played on the scientific board, rolling the dice and moving the pawns. The second phase is played on the monster board, where you roll as many dice as the titan's attack. Results of the same value as the defense of the titan being attacked are ignored, and counterattack tokens can be played. As soon as someone achieves his goals, the game ends.